Kalkadosh, good evening. We're continuing on Perek Vav, Pasuk Yudalid, where it says, Ele Rashe Bet Avotam. So chapter 6, Pasuk Yudalid 14. It says, these are the heads of the nations. Lefi she'igia, says Rabbeinu B'Hayai, Lefi she'igia kitzan shel Yisrael yigael. Once it became the time of the Jews to be redeemed, Uba'u ata li'badel mitoch hamitzrim, and now they come to separate themselves from the Egyptians. Therefore it comes and it's going to explain to us all of the Jewish people. Yeah, and it says ele. Why does it say ele? To disqualify the Mitzrim. Because when it says ele, it's going to come and it's going to disqualify the previous one. So when it says ele rashe bet avotam, it's coming to disqualify. That's what it said previously. Okay, so now it says Veleshemo b'nei tolodotam, Gereshon, Ukat, Umrari. Says like this: the 7 me'am loez, in the name of the Shela Kadosh. Temikana talamed al chasiduto shel Levi. That from here you learn how great Levi was, what a chassid he was. Why? Ki af al pi sheshivto lo nichnas bichlal gezerat, right? Hashiabud. Yeah, it says, even though the Shevet did not be subjugated, meaning Levi did not work at all. Levi had no problem whatsoever. He wanted to suffer with the Jews. He wanted to suffer with everybody else. So he called every single one of his children a name to remind themselves of the exile. Gereshon, Kim Gerim Beretz Nochriya, they're strangers in a strange land. Kehat, Sheshinav Kahu Mitzarot Israel, that the teeth of Levi became weak from the Tzarot Israel. The Kuf, yes. Kuf, yeah. Yeah, it becomes, they became very weak because of the Tzarot of the Israel. You're right, not Kehav, Yad Keha, but not with a Kaf, with a Kuf. But how do you say in English? Which one? Sheshinav Kahu, that their teeth became dull, Mitzarot Israel, right, or blunt from the sufferings of Israel. Merari, ki chayav ayu marim, kemo mara. These were bitter, right? Umikan lemedim shadam yitztaer yachad ematzibur. So from here we learn that you should always suffer with the congregation. Meaning, even though Levi himself, he was fine. Everyone else was suffering. And they were with their feet up in the air. Yeah, they didn't have any subjugation. No. They were suffering with them. He even called names of his children to show everybody. We're suffering with everybody else. Okay? Then it says, Bnei Gereshon livnim shivim shivutam, u'shnei chaye kehat, u'shnei chaye amram. So it says, u'shnei chaye kehat. Tanya, we learned in a midrash. There's an interesting midrash. Shisha zugot shnotehen shavim. There are 6 groups that they have the same amount of years. Rivka and Kehat. Tichtiv, right, as it says by Kehat, u'shnei chaye Kehat, shalosh u'shoshim u'mat shana, 133. So how old was Rivka when she passed away? 133. How old was Kehat? 133. Okay, then it continues. Yeah, uvnei merari. And how much was Merari? So it says here, the children of Merari are Machli u'Mushi. Rabbeinu Ephraim says from here there's a remez to Baalei Teshuvah, to people that do Teshuvah. Why? It says, because here it's about a remez to about Teshuvah, that he's makir cheto v'shav, v'libo mar al cheto. A person that's mar on his own sins, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mochel lo, he's going to forgive him. And that's the remez, ubnei merari shemitmarmer al chet'o, a person that comes and he's going to be suffering for his own sins, machli umushi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mochel avonotav, uma'aviram, he's going to forgive his sins and pass them by. Umushi lashon, mashi et avon haaretz. Okay. Vayikach Amram et Yocheved uzodato. So he says, "My ta'amak nikra Amram." Why was he called Amram? Sheyatza mimenu Am Ram al kol ramim. It came Ram, an exalted, an elevated nation. Amram Rashi Tevot, Oseh Malachav Ruchot Mesharetav. Yeah, what is the acronym? Oseh Malachav רוחו משרתיו, רמז שהיה צדיק כמלאך השם. ממש, he was like a tzaddik. Right? Just like the רוחות משרתיו. Right? עושה מלאכיו. Right? Fine. יוכבד. Why was she called יוכבד? למה נקרא שמו יוכבד? שהיו פניה דומים לזיו הכבוד. Her face was compared to the ziva kavod, to the splendor of honor. Yeah? So he says that's why it's yochevet, from Lashon kavod, and yuvav from ziv kavod. Dodato. Here the Unkalu says, what is dodato? Achat avuhi, the sister of the brother. But it doesn't say like itat achavuhi, meaning when you say dodato, you could say two things. Dodato means either the wife of the uncle, or you could say the brother's, right, sister, the father's sister, sorry. So it says here, Kipirush dodato bechol makom. Which one? Or the mother's sister. No, but usually that's what he's saying over here. So he says over here, dodato bechol makom is usually eshet achi aviv, is usually the political aunt. That's how you say it in English, right? Or in Spanish, tia politica. Yeah? I don't know how you say it. Yeah, how do you say it? Well, in English, it's just a political aunt. In the French, how do you say it? No? Yeah, it's all the same? Okay. In Hebrew, the same thing? Doda is a doda? No? Political aunt means that it's not your blood aunt. It's your aunt through marriage. It's through marriage. So that's why it's called political. In Spanish, they say tia politica. Tia politica means it's a political, meaning it's not a real blood relation. It's through marriage. Yeah? So that's what it says here. It's not kepirush dodato bechol makom shu eshet achi aviv, which is the wife of your father's brother. Mipnei shebe'emet yocheved bito shel Levi hayta, because be'emet she was the daughter of Levi. So it wasn't a wife. It was a true father, sister. You understand? It was a true line, blood related. K'dichtiv Parashat Pinchas v'shemesh et Amram yocheved bat Levi. There it says mefurash it's bat Levi. So it's not just through brother's wife. No. It was mamash, the daughter of Levi. Vayikach Amram et Yocheved dodato. So he comes and he tells him, take Yocheved, right? The aunt. That Amram took Yocheved his aunt. Hatam shelakach Amram achot aviv shatida Torah le'esor ayin le'el. So first of all, he says, how could it be that he took his aunt? The aunt is a sur. It's a sur to take the aunt, correct? Yeah, you can take the aunt. You understand? So there's actually a few different reasons brought down. When we were listening to the shiurim of Bar Shalom, he came and he brought down a reason that I saw many, many years ago in the name of the Ben Ish Chai, in a Sefer in Rebina, that he said, how do you explain it that the Torah tells you that it's a mitzvah to get married to bat achoto, which means your niece, yeah, it's a mitzvah, and to your aunt, it's an avera. It's the exact opposite, you understand? Why? Just, you understand? Your aunt, you're not allowed to get married to your aunt. But your niece, it's a mitzvah to get married to your niece. Why? What? Yeah, but that's why it's a mitzvah. It's only mutar, it's a mitzvah. Right? Why?
And an aunt is the achyanit, is achyan. And is the achyan shela, the achyan, the aunt. That's what I'm saying. זה האמא שלך. לא, מה פתאום? אולי בצרפת זה עובד ככה.
No, I got lost. I lost. One more time. And
is the mother of the niece.
The mother of the niece. What he's trying to say is the exact same bloodline. Meaning instead of going down to the side, you're going up and to the side, or up and to the side. Doesn't matter which way you're going. It's the exact same thing. So the answer is that a marriage is always supposed to be that the woman is supposed to succumb. She's supposed to subjugate herself to her husband, to give the kavod to her husband. Right? That's the way it is. Women are obligated to respect their husbands. So if right now, right, explains the Ben Ish Chai, if right now, but no, not because of age. No, because you could have a case where you have it. How many times do you have it? I know many people that basically the aunt is younger than the nephew. It happens, and it's still a suit. They didn't, you understand? So what is the reason why? So the reason why is because of the kavod, which means that to do with the achyanit, she was always obligated in the kavod of her uncle. So now she gets married to him, it strengthens that kavod. and therefore there's no problem. The opposite. It's mechazek the kavod. So it's perfect. Because before she was obligated to respect him because it's the uncle, and now she's obligated to respect him because it's the uncle and the husband. So perfect. The aunt was vice versa. The aunt, he was chayav lechabed otah. He was obligated to respect the aunt. Now, if she's going to get married to him, now she's obligated to respect him, not her. So it's a clash. Because of that clash, it's a sur. That's a Ben Ishchai. Yeah, that's a Ben Ishchai. So here he says, Ayin Le'el Bet Aleph. Huh? So he says Bet Aleph. V'hinei Yocheved bat Levi hayta dodato shel Amram, which is the sister, right? Achot Keat Aviv. Vayazeh kodem Matan Torah. It was before Matan Torah that it wasn't prohibited. So the Ramban comes and he asks in Kavav Bereshit Kavav, hey, Avraham Avinu he was mekayim the entire Torah, just like it says So why did Amram get married to the aunt? Yeah, if Avraham Avinu was asar al atzmo, the kavalo Hashem schar al davar, right? So he says v'tires v'zeh leshono v'anireh elai midat rabotenu. Says the Ramban, shelamad Avraham Avinu kol haTorah kula beruach hakodesh. He learned the entire Torah with ruach hakodesh. So he was learning it with all the sodot and everything and all the reasons. So he was keeping the Torah like somebody that was not commanded to do so. And it was only in Eretz Yisrael. He got married to two wives. The same halacha applied to Amram. It was in Chutz La'aretz. Because the mitzvot are mishpat Eloi haaretz. Even though we have the obligation and chovat haguf all the time. Yalkut Rivinido comes and he brings down the name of the Asra Ma'amarot. Yeah, the Rama Mifano. The Rama Mifano and Asra Ma'amarot, he comes and he says, Temeachar sheba Moshe misur erva, she'amram lakach todato, lachen lo zachal likanes le'eretz Yisrael. A beautiful new explanation that we never know. Somebody's going to ask you, why didn't Moshe Rabbeinu go into Eretz Yisrael? He says, you know why? What happened to Rachel? According to one shita, she died right before entering Israel, even though they say 1 second, but Kever Rachel is in Israel. But okay, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But he said, why? Because he couldn't go inside of Eretz Yisrael. The second he goes into Eretz Yisrael, he's clashing with the halacha, the same thing. Since Moshe Rabbeinu came from an Isur Erva, he couldn't go into Eretz Yisrael. Because he came from Isur Verva. He was Pogea, Isur Verva. Therefore, he was not Zocher to go into Eretz Yisrael. Because it was the father got married to the aunt. Amram got married to Yocheved, Moshe. Yeah? Well, the truth is that you can answer by all three also. Aaron also didn't go in, and also Miriam. So each one. Huh?
No, it's fine, but Erva,
yeah? Yeah.
So Aaron is okay?
No. And Erva also passed away before.
Not coming into Israel. Kiuna. That's okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Before he became a Kohen. He only became a Kohen afterwards. Yeah? 100%, no? Think about it. He only became a Kohen afterwards, not before. That was only afterwards he became Kohen. He became afterwards.
There was another dea that Moshe Rabbeinu לא זכה לכניסת ישראל, just because, I don't remember exactly, but he said that to Am Israel that because he came a Sela, then he not allowed. But there was another dea
about the Mashiach and everything. Yeah. No, there's a few different reasons. Because if he would have come in, he would have built a Beit HaMikdash. If he would have built a Beit HaMikdash, he wouldn't be able to destroy it. If he would have sell it, there would have been a bit of a problem. Yeah. So now there's another explanation, lekach tov. He says, "Dema shelakach Amram Yocheved dodato, lav dodato mina em, ela mina av." He says it wasn't a true 100% a blood relation. Why? Shelevi nasa shte nashim. Levi got married to two wives. One of them he had Kat, and one of them he had Yocheved. And therefore the Gemara Mesechet Sanhedrin Unchet Amubet says, Sheben Noach is mutar bikrovotav mina av velo mina em. He's allowed to get married to the krovot, mitzad the father, and not the mother. Vechen katav Malbim. And that's also what the Malbim says. Yeah, the Mash katav b'mamidbar v'shemesh shedamram Yocheved bad Levi asher da otal Levi b'mitzayim. Chodiv as sheYocheved lavo ita dodato mina em. It wasn't the duda from the mother, which is Asura leben Noach. Kishem ima haya otah. Her mother was called Otah. Asher yaleda Otah lelevi. Otah, what do we think Otah means? Her, that they give birth to her. No, Otah was the name of the mother. Asher yaleda Otah lelevi, to Levi in Mitzrayim. Shehi Eisha Acheret Shelakach Levi. There was another woman that Lakach Levi. According to this, by the way, if you remember, this is also the explanation of Avraham Avinu. Yeah? According to what we just mentioned now, and this was the Lekach Tov, listen carefully. Avimelech comes and he tells Avraham Avinu, he says, Vayomer Avraham, right, what do you do here? Why did you tell me that it was a sister? So Vayomer Avraham, I thought that there was no Yirat Elokim. Vegam omna, and however, Achoti batavihi, achlo bat imi, vatehili liisha. Right? She's my sister from my father, but not from my mother. So I'm allowed to get married to her. So I took her as my wife. Says Rashi, Achoti batavihi, ubat av muteret leben Noach, she'en avot legoy, uchde le'amet devarav veshivam ken. He says the bat av is permitted to ben Noach. Right? But there's no avot to the goy. So therefore there's no problem whatsoever.
So if he's a gior, he can also.
100%. That's something else. It's a gior. But what he's saying here is that bat av. So therefore what happened? So therefore if Yocheved came from the same father but a different mother, so Amram was married lichtor lichatechila. There's no problem. Why? It was only bat av. It wasn't bat em. Bat av is mutar leben Noach. Kapish? Yeah, no, the different reasons, the different answers. There's other answers, right? This is another answer. Yeah, Baruch Hashem. There's different answers. Yeah. Now another one though, he says. Yeah, he comes and he says like this. He says, "Umashi yeshli od lo'osif bazeh." I want to add in another answer. So already we had a few answers, but we're going to add another answer. L'chizkuni. V'zeh leshono. Mashi iskim HaKadosh Baruch Hu sheyetzeh adam gadol kemoshe milikuchim shatid la'azir alehem. How could he make it? From Moshe Rabbeinu is going to come out from a marriage that he's going to prohibit? Lefi she'en ma'amidin parnas al hatzibur, ela im ken kupa shel shatzim tulaya b'tzavaro. Whenever you're going to put a parnas on the tzibur, there's always going to be something there. There has to be something there that's hanging behind him. Why? Penid gaya al tzibur. Just like we found by David HaMelech. Maybe he's going to become, right, gava. So he says, Uvdat sekenim mivi midrash. לפי שנולד משה מאחותיו, לכך לא נכתב כרת ברבת דודתו מפני כבודו. Meaning, because Moshe Rabbeinu was born from such a union, it's not written karet by that union, by the ant. Meaning, in the Parashiot of Arayot, there it's a lot of times written v'nichreta or karet, you know. Because of the kavod of Moshe Rabbeinu that he came out from such a union, they skipped out the karet there. It still gets it, but they skipped it out. They didn't write it down there. וזהו שייסד הפייטן באזהרות, חוקות האחות אב, על כל נעלם תחסד בושה ונכרה לעולם. And the Shach brings down the reason. What's the reason though? Think about it. Why? We just said we brought down the yesod, but what's the reason? He said, כדי להסיח דעתו של שטן, to calm down the Satan. שלא יקטרג ויערב לו בדרך, in order that he wouldn't be מקטרג. לכן נעשה אותו עניין, so it becomes the same thing. וכן בתמר. Tamar was the exact same thing. Yudan Tamar, right? He sees her like a zonah. Here it is. Go. What's going on? And Melech HaMashiach is coming from there. David and Bathsheba. Yeah, Shlomo and Baparo. Yeah, think about it. Ruth and Boaz. Every single one of the generations, there was something that didn't smell good. Yeah? Huh? Not kasher. Yeah? There was something there that didn't smell good. Why? Because of this. וכן בתמר באופן זה. כי יאמר השטן תפארת ישראל מלך משיח, אין אלא ממקום שהוא בתכלית הקדושה וטהרה עד אין סוף. ומזה העניין אי אפשר לצאת, it can't be that. יסיח דתו. So he comes and he says what? Mashiach's going to come out of this? And then he just leaves and leaves it alone. ולכן גם סתם הדברים ואמר, סתם הדברים, therefore it also, סתם הדברים ואמר, וילך איש. He didn't say who it was. ויקח את בת לוי, ולא פירש מי היא, בכוונה. Why? Purposely. To leave the Satan calm. He wanted the Satan to be calm. Ushne chaye Amram, this is the lifetime of Amram. How much was Amram? It says, Ushne chaye, right? Chidid Amram Chasidah, me'al tziv sheva shanim. 137. So what was 137? Yeah? What was 137? No, 133 was Rivka and Kehat. How old was Levi? If I remember correctly, no, Yosef was 110. 110. 110. If I remember correctly, yeah, I think it was Levi. We're gonna have to look it up again. Remind me tomorrow, Blinel will look it up, but I think it's Levi. The last one just says the Gemara Masech Batra, 4 people died Betiosh and Nachash, only without any sin. It was only just because of the Nachash. And one of them is Amram Avi Moshe. So you see from here, she was a tzaddik gamur. The only reason why he died was because of the Gezerat HaKatuv, the people have to die. We are immortal. We're immortals. What? It was Binyamin. It was Binyamin. Yishai, the father of David HaMelech, and Amram, and there was one more. I don't remember who now was. There was one more. Have a wonderful day.